Hi everyone, happy Friday evening. Hope you're well, hope you're safe, and as always, I hope you're warm, okay? So, part two. Firstly, I want to say thank you guys to all your interaction, your comment, your likes on the first video of Through the Hermit's Door. The Hermit was very, very pleased. And now the Hermit's Door is now opening again to talk about something else, okay? So last week we were talking about the heart's energy, the heart's memory, cellular memory, how phenomenal it is. And some of you may have even gone out and bought the book that I recommended. And I hope you really, really enjoy it if you have, because it is just... You won't be disappointed, let me tell you that much, okay? I'm going to talk about a subject this evening, and after that, I am going to pull a card. And it might resonate, it might not. But normally, whatever I talk about... Right, I'm going to leave these for a minute, and then after I've talked about what I was going to talk about, I'm still going to talk about, I'm going to show you the bottom of the deck, and it just shows you how in tune these cards are and how in tune the universe is, and then I'll shuffle so you kind of get two now. Well, look how things turn out there, okay? So yeah, so last week was all about the heart's energy, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about from one week to the next. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't even have any direction, okay? So you may have seen me walking down the street in my other video, and at that point, I'd only just found out, and the video today is how do you know who your guides are and how do you contact your spirit guides, okay? Now, this is a question that comes up quite a lot in my personal tarot readings. When I do a tarot reading on a one-to-one basis, I can often pick up whether somebody has more than one, just because of the energy. You're shuffling the cards and there's a collective energy. One, that's the energy of the blueprint of the person who you're reading for. But secondly, it's just a warmth, okay? It's such a warm guidance. And it's reassuring a lot of the time for the questioner, the person who's having the reading, to know that's happening. Because let me tell you something. With spirit guides, we all have one. We all have one. We sometimes, like I said, we have more than one. From the day we're born to the day we go on to the next realm, 100% we have one, okay? Depending on what we're going through in our life, whether that's divorce, whether that's having a child, whether that's moving jobs, moving home, anything traumatic, anything that breeds anxiety, we get different guides coming in at different times, okay? And it's really, really interesting because whilst we are aware sometimes that maybe things happen for a reason and we just have to trust in the divine, a big part of that is the guidance. And subconsciously, even if we don't know anything about spirit guides, we do it anyway because we pray to something we don't know what we're praying to. We think, oh, just please let this work out for me. What are you doing? Who are you talking to when you do that? Your intuition, your higher self is talking on that higher level to your own spirit guides, okay? Please let this work out for me. Or I'm just going to trust and just let it take over and see what happens. What are you letting take over, okay? So there's a subliminal message within your own creation that your guides are taking control, okay? Now, there's many different types of guides. So I'm just going to talk about that first. We can get archangels. So they are the bigwigs, like we all know, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel. These come in at different times, and we can call these in at any time as well, okay? So it's almost like if there was a ranking system of guides, they're the ones at the top type thing, okay? Not that it takes away the energy from any other guides, but it's just a difference in intensity, okay? So we have archangels, we have angels that could be... have chosen us, or we've chosen them from birth. But before our soul went into baby form, we came on this earth with a guide, okay? So that's your angel, so to speak. You know, like when people say, oh, the angels were looking after me that day. Your angels were looking after you that day, whatever was coming in. Even if, say, for example, you're in a situation and, you know, someone's driving but you're not driving and they make a wrong turn and it turns out almost to be quite, well, horrible situation. Whilst that's their guides also, it's your guides, okay? It wasn't luck. It wasn't like, oh, you know, it wasn't my time to go, that type of thing. Whilst that's an element into it, your guides, whatever the situation, even if you feel like you're not in control of something, if it's external because of a situation, you're being guided, okay? So they're the angels. We have guides in the form of people who once walked this earth. So these can be like in spirit form as well. So sometimes, say we have a grandparent or a granddad. Personally, for me, my granddad, who's actually in this picture here, he comes in often. He does, and not as often as when he first passed. It's actually his birthday today. He would have been 94 today. And isn't it interesting? The energy of what I talk about comes in, and it's just so fluid with like all these other things that you don't even think about coming afterwards. Okay, so it's my granddad's birthday, I'm talking about guides, I'm saying about how he comes in. Okay, and by the way, just because it's like a significant birthday of like a past one doesn't mean on that day they're going to come in. They'd come in anyway. Okay, so that's that. So people who have passed this earth and they come back to guide you. Normally it's through things that resonate with you. Okay, a certain smell, a certain sound, a certain song, that type of stuff, to let you know that things are just going to be okay. All right, then we get the elemental guides: the sea, the sun, the wind, the trees. Some people feel extremely connected just by, say, taking a walk in the woods. That's their guidance, that's their soul connection of how they get their answers, or if it eliminates anxiety. That's the job done to a degree. Okay, we get the starseed tribe, which is guides from a completely different planet. We get different tribes, different guides that haven't ever walked this earth, that haven't come from a different place, say for where the archangels are. It's from a completely different part of the universe altogether. Okay, so, and also we get animal guides. So we might see a spirit animal, for example. Not so long ago, mine was a heron, and it can change all the time. You will look at the meaning of what it is at that moment in time, and it will resonate. I can guarantee that for you. And it's no coincidence, guys. I do not believe at all in coincidence. I believe in the power of unity, and I believe in the power of synchronicity when it comes to how the universe works for you. One person's guide and message is going to be completely different to somebody else. So don't try and figure out what a standard sign is, what a standard guide is, because there's no such thing as standard when it comes to the universe. Okay, you've seen tarot, you've seen the videos. There's 78 cards there. It's not a standard thing somebody does. It goes into the energy. Okay, exactly what your guides do. And here, of course, I have my tea. But you're wondering where that was, or not. Anyway, so we all have a guide. All of us. Okay, the more you tap in to your spirit guide, the more your spirit guide will communicate with you. And don't be scared when I say that. It doesn't mean at 3 o'clock in the morning you're going to wake up and see an angel and it's going to go, "Hi, Sandra, you called me in." It's not going to be anything like that. It's literally going to be through energy. Okay, on a feeling level, an inspiration level, a creativity level, a reassurance level, that type of thing. So we all have guides, and I want to say to you, never underestimate the power of a spirit guide. Whilst a spirit guide is there to guide you, it's not there to tell you what to do. Okay, so if you are thinking of getting in touch with your guides, if you do want to strengthen that connection, they're not going to give you an answer. They give you a level of understanding for your own subconscious to go down, and then you have the free will to choose what you want, ultimately. Like that's with everything, okay? So if you're thinking, "Oh, I want an answer for this," whilst we can ask the universe for signs, yes, if we're on the right path, if we need to make some tweaks, yes, of course we can do that. But if you say to your guides, "Can you tell me, should I think about breaking up with this person this month because I'm really not feeling the energy with it?" You won't get a yes or no. You'll get guidance in different forms. Okay, I've had guidance in many different forms. I don't know whether you've seen the video I've done, but I had that dream where I was told to relax. Okay, just relax everything, and I felt also that was a message to pass on. Again, it's guides. The more you know what's the message, and the more you know that was a message from your guides, the more you will strengthen your faith in the universe. And once you strengthen your faith in the universe, the more synchronicity, the law of attraction, the good stuff starts to come in. Okay, not saying that no good stuff comes in if you don't choose to contact your guides. Of course, it's all about energy. So this is an outline. course, it's just an outline. It's an overview. Of course, any questions you have, you can just message me after, okay? So what happens then when you start to contact your spirit guides? Also, what I do want to say, you have spirit guides who are free floating, okay? So basically what that means, they're waiting to guide someone. It's almost like, you know, you have people, guides are assigned to people, guides are assigned to different people at different times. Like Archangel Michael, for example, isn't just for one person on this planet. There's a broad sea of energy of people where he helps. Some people see him as their spirit guide. Some people see him as like he might come in for a little while. But there's also angels and guides that come in on this earth, on this level, free floating. Basically meaning they want to be assigned to someone. So if you feel like you need a guide or you haven't had your signs and you don't know how to call them in, you can say, I willingly assign a free floating guardian angel to come and give me some guidance. Watch what happens when you do that, because things start to change. You'll start to get the signs. You'll start to get things that you didn't see before, okay? So have a go and see what you think of that. So what do you do when you want to contact a spirit guide? Why would you want to contact a spirit guide? Okay, that's a really, really good question. We don't all want to do it. We don't all want to seek guidance. Some of us are just happy with just the unknown, with just the understanding that whatever happens, and that's fine. But to contact your spirit guide, the reason why it's a good idea to do it, obviously personally I think it's a good idea to do it, is because for two reasons. One, I talk about this a lot, about strengthening your bond with the universe, strengthening your intuition, and not second guessing your gut feeling. Goes back to what we were saying before. This is all kind of in the cooking pot of universal energy, okay? So that's what it does. And it's really beautiful and reassuring, and I cannot even begin to describe to you when you get your first sign, and I'm not meaning necessarily say on a billboard or something like that, but when you feel the energy of your guide, it is something you cannot explain, or you can, but you don't do it any justice, because it's the intense feeling of love. It's the intense feeling of just being cocooned in the most beautiful flower, and you're safe, and you'll have that sense of disattachment to an outcome, and you'll realize how just as much as an energy being, everything is, you are connected to energy. You won't feel like a human, if that makes sense, with a logical mind thinking logical things, where you're going to go, how you're going to do this. You'll just have this wave of euphoria. You'll just have this wave of love. You'll just have this wave of knowing, a wave of direction. And that is a sign, a strong sign that you have made contact with your spirit guide, okay? Now, a little story for you is I often see shadow formations, okay? And I know it's a guide. Now, when I say that, I don't mean like all of a sudden I see like a head in silhouette all of a sudden walking past me. It's not like that. It's always at a certain lighting. And when I'm just before I'm going into sleep, and then in that day I've asked for signs or contact with my guides, I will wake up, say an hour later, and there will be some sort of sign through shadows. And you could say, yeah, okay, well, it could just be the things around, like the little light casting shadows off. Yes, it could be. But when it's instant and you see it straight away, and then it's not there the next evening and you haven't moved anything, you can't explain that, okay? The balloon image I used to let, as a clarifier, you know, if guides show me a balloon if I'm on my right path, this, that, and the other. I had a shadow of a balloon in my room, and I couldn't even figure out where that had come from. Again, it's not scary, it's beautiful, and it's just like, how can you describe it? How can you put into words the connection of things we can't see or hear, but they let us know that they're there? Soul to soul, talking to you in that way. Doesn't have to be verbally, face to face across the table, of course not. But energy speaks, okay? Why would you want to contact your guides? Yes, like I just said, to raise your intuition, but also to have faith in the unseen. We are all going through different things in our life. Some people may be struggling with their health. Some people may be struggling with money. Some people may be struggling with wanting to move somewhere or just being generally unhappy, whatever that is, okay? And that's never a place that your guides want you to be in. We have to experience life. I'm not saying if you always contact your guides, you're going to be skipping down the fields. Of course, there's going to be elements in life that are going to throw you a little bit, that are going to be confusing, that could be a little bit upsetting. But compared to you staying connected and going through the same thing, it is different, okay? So that's another reason why contacting your spirit guides is another reason. It's just that, it's that hug that you can't even begin to describe, okay? When that happens to you guys, let me know how you felt, because it's always good to have these stories come back to me. And actually somebody did message me in the week with reference to spirit guides, and I didn't even tell her that I was doing anything with spirit guides. What she did was she came to my class and she put it into practice and said it was a sense of knowing, a sense of self. That's exactly what it is. If you want to start feeling that, you can do, but call in your guides as that booster. Okay, so that's another reason. Also, it amplifies your creativity. Now, I'm a creative person. I'm a very creative person. I paint, I draw. You can see the bohemian style energy that I have in my place here. But that's one thing. But when you contact your guides for inspiration, your creativity's abilities just go through the roof. You think, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. But you're capable of doing it. Your guides wouldn't give you something. My guides would never say to me, Hannah, next week you're going to be a brain surgeon. Of course I couldn't do that. So it's within the realm of your interests, and it's within the realm of you moving forwards. And this is the key. It's you moving forwards. You being in that energy of doing something you enjoy. You being in that energy of you being in that place of contentment, because that is a message to the universe that you're in a good place, which leads you to greater places, okay? These are all strong reasons for me personally why it's always good to stay in touch with our spirit guides. 100%, okay? How do you get in touch with your spirit guides? Now, you don't have to go, tonight, spirit guides, I want you to message me through my mind and I want a message. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I guess actually in a way that is a direct communication, but you have to invite them in, okay? So sometimes, I mean, I don't know if you've had a one-to-one reading with me, but often when I do the oracle cards, which are your guides, you get the notice the signs card. That notice the signs is your guides trying to communicate with you through signs, okay? Having a tarot reading, using a person as divination tool is a way that they can use you, okay? Not use you, sorry, a way to communicate with you and give you messages, things you wouldn't have even necessarily picked up on, all right? So that's another way. So you can have a reading, you can have an oracle card, even maybe watching videos and stuff like that is a form of you receiving a sign, okay? A way I communicate with my guides is to go into a meditation. I have no attachment to any outcome or any idea when I go into a meditation, okay? So I will sit in this room and have all the lights off and the candles on, the candles are down there in the background, and I will communicate with them. I will welcome them in. I have a scenario in my mind of going through a door, and there's this beautiful scenery, and I wait for my guide to come and meet me, okay? Now that does take practice. I'm not saying, I mean, if it happens the first time, amazing, but if it doesn't, just, you know, and especially if you're not used to meditation, it's not going to come that easily, but keep with it. And what you're doing is you're creating your own sacred energy space that no one can touch you there. You can be in the most luscious field. You can be in the cloud of the most starriest of skies. Go crazy, go wild with the elemental side of things, and your guide will meet you there. Again, I'm not going to go into detail of this. I mean, I did do a class on this, and I will do another one if you want me to do another one. Don't try and think what they're going to say, because that's your logical mind coming in. That's your logical thinking of what you want to happen, perhaps. You can influence yourself to thinking, oh, they're saying this to me, they're saying that. Keep open, keep a blank mind, and you will see it through the image of color, random words, a song lyric, and when you come back, it's down to you to look at that and think, that's interesting. I'm going to look at this from a different angle, and then you'll get it. Okay? It can be very powerful. The things that have been, and energies that have been trying to communicate with us all along, you might have just had a sense, but the faith, that chord, the golden chord, might just be a little fragmented because of being too much in your mind. It's always there. Don't forget, you are always connected. This is all about strengthening that connection. Okay? So that's meditation. Another way is you can write to them. They love that. They love it when you write to them. And it's interesting. I was clearing out not so long ago, and I found like all these little fold up pieces of paper that I'd put a little sticker on, and it was to my higher self, it was to my guides, and it was great because you read back on it and think, wow. And it's comforting for a start. And secondly, when you ask about the things, when you look back at the things you're asking about, you look back and think, gosh, why was I asking about that? Obviously at the time it was relative to you, but the more you reinstall your faith, the more you move forwards, the more you amplify your own energy, the things you ask about and the things you question become more insignificant, and then the big questions about your journey come in. Okay? Again, don't rush the process. Don't think about what should you ask, what shouldn't you ask. You go with your intuition. Okay? Write to them. So you can get a piece of paper. It can be a nice crisp white piece of paper. It can be a piece of paper ripped out from a lined A4 pad. I always start off by saying, dear angels. I like to call them angels, or dear higher self, whatever you choose, okay? But because this is guides, I like to say angels. So I say, dear angels, thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I'm calling upon your help to guide me in, and then you list the following situations you want guidance in. So say, for example, I want guidance in, am I consuming too much energy with X person or X situation? If I am, I would like you to guide me for my intuition to pick up and move forwards from there. Okay? Go crazy with your list, your letter. This is your letter. Take time with it, enjoy it, have a cup of tea, light a few candles if you want, and know that you're communicating. It won't seem like anything at the beginning. It will just seem like you're writing to yourself, but you're really, really not. Then what you do is you fold that piece of paper up, put it in a knicker drawer or something, in a sock drawer, in a drawer that you don't use, because you're releasing the attachment to an outcome, basically meaning you're not frantically searching. Okay? Then what will happen is you'll get your message, you'll get your guidance. It will either be similar to me, where I will see or feel that sense of warmth, that sense of that energetic hug that I get, that just lets me know everything I need to know, or it will come to you in a meditation where your guides will be in front of you. And what I want to say, they will have different looks, they'll have different appearances. Sometimes they're not even in any form, they'll be in an energy form, like you might just see it in a mist kind of energy of pink or a mist of green, and that's fine. There's no kind of right or wrong way. People like to think of angels with wings, other people don't. So don't think, oh, is that my guide? You'll know when it's your guide. Okay? So you can go into a meditation writing your letter. Just before you go to bed, I would advise writing your letter, because that's where the subconscious mind really goes into play, and we can astroplane. Our guides like to focus on our dreams sometimes, so pay attention to your dreams, because they will communicate with you that way also. So keep a pad and pen next to your bed and just jot down everything that's happened. Okay? And there will be some message in there for you. What I want to say to you is the card which came up at the bottom while I was talking is the card. I've changed my camera angle around, and I'm getting used to it. It's communication. Communication. What are we talking about? We're talking about communicating with our guides. It's phenomenal. And once you recognize a sign from your guide, a sign from your angels, a message for you, it becomes a little bit addictive, because you think, oh, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. And that's great, because you're becoming more and more and more in alignment with yourself. It's phenomenal. It really, really is. They're always there. They're always there to be of assistance. They just need your permission. And any free roaming angels are waiting to be called upon, basically. If you want to call upon your existing guide, you can even say, you can write that down when you say dear angels. They will know. They will know exactly who you're talking to. Okay. So let's see. I'm not even going to take the energy of that because clearly the right energy is in this. And let's have a look. So is there any word for, that's my shuffling there. Is there any word, some of these are upside down, for you all linked to either what I've just spoken about or just for a bit of guidance for the weekend? Let's see. Let's see. That almost fell in my tea. So we've had communication and we've had truth. I don't know whether you can see that there. Truth. There you go. The illuminated energy behind him is significant of that intuitive self. That's almost angelic. Okay? The truth will always be in your messages. The truth will always be in the purity of how it's delivered to you. There's no devious energy. There's no manipulation when it comes to contacting your guides. It is as it is. That's why when you experience it, it's just going to feel like pure love. You won't be able to describe it very much, guys. The way I've described it doesn't touch of what it actually feels like. And that connection, once you have it once, you'll know. And you'll feel safe. You'll feel just in tune. And you'll just feel like you're this part of this amazing tapestry of the universe. So you won't feel so alone if you have been, okay? See what your guides are saying to you. See what messages they have for you. See where your direction is. And look how your creativity will change. Look how your direction will change. Your mindset, things like that. Just by using these few methods of contacting your spirit guides. See how you get on. But we've opened the Hermit's door. We've talked about the spirit guides. So we'll close that Hermit's door now. And we'll see what the subject is going to be next Friday. But this, again, is just surface level, touching on it. Of course, it goes deep, deep, and I can talk about this for hours on end. I will be doing another course, guys, if you are interested. So let me know if you are. And on Sunday, it's the general tarot reading during the day at some point in the morning or maybe early afternoon. So see what happens. Maybe if you contact your guides, maybe one will come out relative to that, and that will be an extra message for you. I will be doing oracle cards on Sunday because I've done this, okay? So have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. Let's hope it's not too miserable so you can do what you want. And I will see you on Sunday, okay? You take care, and I was going to say see you on Sunday, but I just said that, all right? But anyway, stay safe and take care of yourselves.